Hey everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. Welcome to Nerdbone. It's me, your guy, BK, and I am here to talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons. Do you have a moment to talk about Lord and Savior, Wizards of the Coast? So I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons on and off for, 15 years? 20 years? Something like that. And I really do mean on and off. Just every once in a while jumping in on a game for a couple of sessions, that sort of thing. However, I think I figured out why I don't take to it as much as other people. Sometimes I have problems being a player. I get disinterested sometimes. I'm waiting for other people to do things. I'm just kind of hanging out. You know what I mean? It just kind of feels like a hangout session. So I decided to grab the bull by the horns, or the dragon, if you will, or just flip through the monster manual and find something with horns. I'm grabbing it by that. And I have decided to learn how to become a dungeon master. That's right. I want to DM. I want to DM an adventure. I want to put my own thing together. I want to have PCs. I want to do it, man. I want to do it, man. So I was talking to my brother Ash about it. He DMs a couple of games, both physical, like on a table, and also through Roll20.com. Shout out, what's up, guys? And I also talked to my buddy Chris Sampson, who is also a DM, and he does stuff like, he does 5th edition, he does, what's it called, Starfinder, he does a couple of different things. Anyway, we were all chatting, and in the middle of all that stuff, when I'm, pricing out books and looking up different styles and watching videos and that sort of thing, Chris messages me and he says, hey, there's a thing coming up. It's like a workshop for being a DM. It was local to us. It was actually down in Philadelphia, which for me is a quick drive, sorta. It's 45 minutes. I'm fine with long drives. Lots of people saying, 45 minutes? That's forever. I ain't driving out there. Not for me, though. It was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I went down there. I met up with Chris. It was a great time. He is an amazing friend, and for my birthday, he got me the manuals. Now, I specifically decided to do 5th edition because I feel like from an entry-level perspective, that's a good one. It's one that I have had the most experience with, and so yeah, I feel comfortable with it. So yeah, he gifted me the manuals, the Dungeon Master Guide, the Player's Handbook, and the Monster Manual. So I am going through these. I also, while we were there, which, by the way, shout out to Red Cap's Corner in Philadelphia. Thank you for putting on an awesome little get-together thing. I was really impressed, and it answered a lot of questions for me. It was great. Check out Red Cap's Corner. Awesome stuff. So while we were at the store, I also picked up a Dungeon Master's screen. I'm actually going to be doing a video of making my own. I do want to make my own. But I did need something to get started to give me some sort of an idea of what we're doing here. So, quapa, 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 quapa. Anyway, so I thought it would be a neat thing to sort of document my process in becoming a DM. It started with that thing at Red Cap's Corner with Chris. It started with some inspiration from my brother and from Chris, and from like podcasts like Nerd Poker and Critical Role and stuff like that, all feeding my juices of inspiration. But also, I love writing. I love coming up with stories, and I realized as I was going through a whole bunch of Word documents the other day, I like writing stories, but I can only really do blocks at a time. So that sort of makes sense for me in being a DM, because you have a whole arc. You have a story arc, you have a beginning, a middle, end. You have key points that you want to hit. But having that like fluidity between all of those points, I think is going to be really, really great. I feel really comfortable going into this. And the other thing is, I have decided to get, the people that I want to get together, not all of them have said yes, though, but, like, one of them's going to be my brother, who is really experienced, and he has experience as a DM. One of them may be Chris, if he has the time, and he has experience, but also my wife, who has no experience whatsoever, and maybe a couple of friends, too, who have no experience whatsoever, but are very interested in this sort of thing. So we're going to have some new people, we're going to have some experienced people. I am slightly experienced, and this is my first time as a DM. I think it's going to go really well. Am I overly positive about this? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I sort of wanted to take you through my process, and this is really just a preview video of that. I'm going to be going more in depth to a certain extent, although I don't want to go too in depth. I don't want to tell you all about the story or anything like that, because I don't want any of my players going on my YouTube page and be like, oh, so this is what's happening next. I see what's going on here. I know what to do. I don't want to do that, but like the story construction and just all that jazz, I'm really, really fascinated in learning the process of, how do rests work. What's the difference between rolling dexterity and rolling agility? What? There are some things I'm just not clear on, but I have the material. We have resources online like D&D Beyond and stuff like that, but also the really cool local help that I could get, like down the street a bit is a tabletop gaming place. And if you go that direction, there's a comic book shop that hosts D&D nights and stuff like that, so they have some experience as well. So I feel really good about it. Again, 5th edition, DM, gonna have maybe 5, I think 5. I think we're gonna have 5 players. 5 players, 5th edition. And I'll talk about the start of my process real quick. Being somewhat experienced, I like to have a first session be as balanced as possible. You have the intro of the characters and why they're there, but then also I really want a skirmish of some sort. I want to have a little bit of action, a little bit of mystery, maybe some puzzle solving type of deal. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I want to incorporate a whole bunch of elements at the same time. I don't want to overload myself at all, but I do want to find a good balance that's going to get everybody comfortable, that the more experienced players are going to enjoy, that I'm going to enjoy, that the least experienced players are not only going to enjoy, but it's going to help them learn the process and all that jazz. So that is what I'm thinking about as far as the start of my campaign. And I think it's going to go really well. I hope. There's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Check us out on the tweets and the Instagrams at Nerdbone, and also, if you are interested in comic books, and if you are an Instagram person, head on over to Instagram.com/BenHasIssues_. I have a very healthy collection of comic books, and I've decided as a way to both share them with other people and to catalog them to a certain extent, I have started taking snapshots of the covers and sharing them on this Instagram page. There are some that are kind of weird, Rob Liefeld can't draw feet. It just is what it is. But then there are some amazing ones, like some of the Uncanny X-Men from the early 90s. Even some of the old ones back from the 60s, X-Men, that sort of thing. So anyhoozle, check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. I'm BK Mullen. Peace.